Foertsch with the truth that I've been finding out about. In my library, linked with my name and phone number, I've got the hashtag of my name and my phone number. You can explore that, and I would say guaranteed to blow your mind. I've got beautiful nature videos and first run primetime movies as well that YouTube will make available for free from time to time. And right up in the sky, right up in the middle of the view there's a 47% moon. However, we can't see that right now because of the clouds. So let's zoom in on that. It's kind of nice that it's cleared up a bit. It's a little chilly, but not nearly as cold as it's going to be up north. It's going to be a cold, snowy winter apparently up north. I've met some really interesting people so far today out here, and I wanted to let you know that this live stream on Facebook, that's what it is right now, will be uploaded to YouTube and other platforms when I get home. I've done a lot of content out here. There's a pair of eagles that like to nest in that group of trees there. This is what's called the Point in Cherry Grove, South Carolina. Oh, that's up in the area where the moon is. Maybe we'll see it. I'll keep my eye on that. Here we go. So I'm barefoot on the wet sand. A lot of energy that is released into my body through the earth, through the grounding, and that may sound new agey, but it's a fact. It's an electrical fact. We are electrical beings with a soul, a spirit, and I'm exposing the reality of all of that. How about that? For your consideration. Food for thought. So I put the hashtag silent weapons for quiet wars because that activates a reservoir of a lot of truth content, and also there's about 12,000 results on Facebook that you may be able to find there, and on Instagram about 34,000 truther type memes and posts and all of that. So throughout the day and night, I'm managing my deep learning AI research library, exposing the truth about all this, and beautiful nature videos and hard-hitting documentaries alike. So I've met people from New York and Pennsylvania today, others from all over. Some of literally mind-blowing, the people that I meet face-to-face, and since I can't go through all the material myself, what happens is people will share content with me that I may add to my deep learning AI research library, which is a decentralized learning library, deep learning. What's going on here and who's in charge? I like to cover all that. So, as knowledgeable about information as artificial intelligence is, the Almighty is all-powerful and all-knowing, omnipotent and omniscient. How about that? And at some point, well, it happened to me in 2014 when I was actually born of the Spirit, where the Holy Spirit that spoke this realm into existence took up residence in me. He does that in all of his children at some point in our otherwise human experience. There's an epic battle between good and evil, and I'm exposing all that. How about that? Want to do a little management there. So we live on a stationary level Earth. That means we're not spinning, wobbling, gyrating, didn't land on the moon. I'm exposing the truth about all that. Recently, some YouTube channels were restored on YouTube. They were previously taken down. You can see some of the videos, some of the channels that are featured in my library, and they've made mention of that recently. I've got the local sun video and photos, but it looks as though the sun is in the midst of the clouds. I've got it highly zoomed in on. You can check that out. The Bible says in Job 37 that the sun is in the clouds. Now, people will get real bent out of shape. They'll argue about, hey, you're wrong about this or that. Go ahead and send me all your proof. Whatever you got, that's fine. If you can't do that, that's maybe you want to figure out a way to do that. Some people are not on Facebook because, for whatever reason, I'm on all of them that I can be on to try and expose the truth to everybody I can worldwide. This is not a sales pitch. It's not marketing Jesus. It's simply carrying out the Great Commission, living out the purpose for which I was created, and I hope you like it. I am totally in on it. Totally in 100%. I don't give them 10%. I give them 100%. I'm trying to zoom in. There we go. Let's do more. Much more. There's a movie called The Giver. It's available right now for free towards the top of my playlist. And maybe the one of the story would remind you. It reminds me of me. I'm wanting to help show people the world that many have forgotten or never saw at all. I don't know if it looks like I'm back now. So I'm going to flip this around. All right. Well, I want to thank you for your public and private encouragement. This is Robert Foertsch exposing the truth about everything that I'm finding out about. I'll go just a little bit longer here. I see somebody popped on. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for sharing as you do. The surface of undisturbed, unmanipulated water is flat and level, whether you like it and or agree with it or not. In the Gospel of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, the Gospels, Jesus said he would return before that generation he was speaking to would pass away. So he returned in the first century as he said he would, and destroyed, in his first time here, apparently, our record of him as in the Gospels, where he cleansed the temple. Then he came back in 70 AD and destroyed the temple. And I've got all kinds of theological explanations of an eschatological perspective of preterism, and you can look at it and explore it. Get upset with me for talking about it. I don't mind. I believe it's the biblical reality. The doctrine of election, predestination. The Almighty determines who His children are, where and when we would be born, and where and when we would be born again. Wow. What a blessing to be a child of God that's actually born of the Spirit. So Bible.com is God's Word in all the major languages, a couple thousand of them, and it's for free in my link tree. You can click on that. A lot of birds are out there. The tide's going to go out for about another half hour, and the moon is, gosh, right up in that area, but I can't see it right. Oh, there it is. Ta-da! How cool is that? Right overhead. I was talking to somebody that thought themselves really intelligent. Now we can't see it anymore. I said, why do you think we're seeing only the percentage of the moon, not the whole thing? And she said, well, because it's the shadow of the earth. I said, well, the sun is up high in the sky, and the moon is up high in the sky. How could it be the shadow? So, what I like to help people consider is analytical deductive reasoning, critical analysis of facts and information to determine what the reality is. Man, people don't like that. It's too much work for them. They just want to be told what the truth is, and there. Well, I like to give people food for thought. Intellectual consideration. I'm looking at the eagle right in the tree over there. Let me zoom in on him. See if you can see him. Come on, baby. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put him in the middle of the view as best I can. There you go. Right about in the middle of the view is an eagle sitting on a branch, as best I can tell. And the moon high in the sky. Let's see, where are we? There we are. And I've zoomed in on that with the super zoom camera of the P900, P1000, and you can see it. You can see it coming out of the ocean. If you go to my channel, and then you type something like local sun, or struck by lightning, or mysterious moon, or hydroelectric car. How about that? Hydroelectric car, you can actually use water to create electricity. The documentary called The Lost Century. You can see it. You might not like some of Stephen Greer's observations and beliefs. He put together a great documentary, though. And so there's a tapestry of truth in my library that has the truth tellers and the deceivers there for your consideration. Yes, the stationary level Earth, the liquid mirror. The evidence is all around. Once I saw the reality of the world that we live in, the Matrix, and I just wanted people to know, hey, that's what's going on. It doesn't require your opinion or observation. It's simply the reality that we were given, and how we interact with it, what we do, say, and believe affects our reality and our interaction with it. In other words, if I don't put fuel in my car, it's going to run out of fuel and I'll be stranded alongside the road. So I'm not saying that just thinking about it is going to put fuel in my tank. However, the Almighty can give me ideas and perceptions that are beyond human comprehension. He choreographs my life and the lives around me and you and everybody else. He either causes it or allows it to occur, whatever it is. There's the moon in the middle. Hard to see right now, though. Alrighty. As far as the earthing documentary, you can see that in my library too. That looks like the bald eagle right there. He might have gone out fishing. That is definitely the bald eagle. I can see his white head. So I zoomed in on one that was up in the trees, and he flew out in over the ocean and caught a fish and took it off for dinner. How about that? How is it that the birds and bugs know what to do? Well, the Almighty helps them know what to do. Right in the middle of the view is where that eagle is up in a tree. I can see him with my unaided eye. It's harder to see it with the camera. So if you like zoomed in stuff, if you want to see heavy equipment, birds and pelicans and planes apparently flying through the World Trade Center tower, which is an impossibility, you can see it in my Facebook photo album. Thousands of photos. One day I won't be able to update my stuff because I will have moved on, and I'm good to go. Totally good to go. This has been a really painful experience. The contempt of friends and family, and yet the affirmation of the Almighty. He affirms what He created me to do and empowers me to do. How about all that? It's the best deal going. I was able to trade in my rags for His riches, only because He made it all possible. That's the only way it happens, and He helped me to see a very uncomfortable reality in this world. Let's zoom in again on the moon, and then I think I'm gonna, let's see, there we go. Alrighty, so thanks for your public and private encouragement. I'm not a slave to this. I get to do this. It's a real joy to find this information. People share it with me. They've created the documentaries and all that, make them available, and then I make them available to everybody I can. I'm going to show you the shrimp boat out there. Now, just for example, at that distance with my Nikon P900 and P1000, I could zoom in on the captain. Let's say he was facing me, and I could know who he was. It'll zoom in that much. So in the flat earth, or I prefer calling it biblical cosmology, I know for a fact we're not spinning, wobbling, and gyrating. Their official story is we're spinning over 1,000 miles an hour. All the water would go flying off. And you can't have level at any time, anywhere, on a spinning, wobbling, gyrating, tilted on an axis, imaginary mind control, psychological operation. Oh well. And then there are people I had to block. I had to block one guy. He just kept on badgering me and stalking me, and I didn't block him everywhere, just on my phone number. I don't want to be mentally distracted with people that hold me in contempt and are just obnoxious. So if you're that person and you can find a way to get a comment to me and say, hey, you learned your lesson, that'd be fine. I can unblock you and then reblock you again if I need to. I've done it before. That is spectacular. About 8 or 9 years ago, I did a video out here where it was a beautiful mirror and the crepuscular rays of the sun were coming through the clouds. It was absolutely spectacular. There's the moon again. One of the commenters said it was only like a minute and a half. One of the videos was less than 2 minutes long, and they said, I'd like to hear more of what that guy has to say. Well, here I am, and I can tell you that censorship, shadow banning, and all that has made it very difficult. Ooh, I see the eagle on a branch. Now I'm going to zoom in on him and show you. Okay. He's in the middle of the view right there. See that? Sitting right there. Alrighty. I'm glad I went a little bit longer. Now, these birds some of them are bathing. I've got a bird bath in my front yard, and then I've got a bird bath right here, about 4 miles from my front yard. I've ridden horses out on the beach. Oh, I don't want to point my big finger there. It's a little too zoomed in. But for a sunrise, I had a special friend that took me for a horseback ride out here. We each had our own horses. It was kind of funny. Mine didn't like water. Imagine that. It would avoid all the little tidal pools. So Inlet Point Plantation is a business that takes people for horseback rides out there on the point, or out on the Wades Island, they call it. Inlet Point Plantation. I think they're still doing horseback rides. See the liquid mirror that is? The perfect symmetry of all that. And these the hard sand, the sand is hard here, but there are other areas it's real soft, depending on, it won't be soft out there, it'll be real hard, but out at where the sand is lighter colored, higher is drier. It's just how it actually works. So people that are believing falsities and believing the lies, one of the questions I have is why. I've got friends that believe lies. I told them, hey, you're believing a lie. They don't want to hear it. They don't like their heroes becoming villains when they learn the truth about them. Oh well, it's just how it is. Let's see how that looks. So the people, or the birds, reflect off of the water, the people reflect off of the water, reflect on their lives, past, present, future, hopes, dreams, fears, all of that. And that all affects our reality. When I am trusting in the Lord and excited to live another day to share the truth that I found out about, the truth and the love and the hope of the biblical proclamation, the good news, the gospel, I just love it. So rather than me try and convince God to do something in the world or in my life, I just want to find out what He created me to do and what He wants me to do each day, each moment, all of that. Look at him. Isn't he cute? They move fast too. It's kind of hard to keep the camera on them. There's a little kayaker right there. Alrighty. This has been great. So you can Facebook Messenger me if you like. If you wanted to do, now this is digital communications worldwide is free. iPhone to iPhone with FaceTime audio or video is free. Just so you know. How pretty is that? what we're looking at. I can hear a boat coming. I'm going to zoom in on him. It's going to look kind of funny. I won't be able to show you real good from here, but he's, let's see, right over in the middle of the view there. It's kind of funny seeing the boat cruise along or see the people moving as they're sitting down. He's going away, or they're going away from me right now. I've got a group of friends there that walk their dogs and gather and talk and all that. People come from all over the world to come on out here and enjoy the beauty and majesty of creation. And I've met thousands and thousands of them. People can mock and make fun of the truth. It's still the truth. Because the truth isn't based on popular opinion. It's not popular, nor is it an opinion. It's simply the reality. So considering the law of non-contradiction, opposing views can't all be right. They could all be wrong except for the one that's actually true, that's actually right, and then to have people consider that. What is it? How does it work? Really?